Tonight, President Trump versus the NFL. Across the country, the biggest plays happening before the game. A show of solidarity and defiance against the president. Players taking a knee, locking arms during the national anthem. Some teams even staying off the field. Tom Brady, one of football's biggest stars, with his hand over his heart.
I hate you!
Fans on both sides screaming over the issue as President Trump unleashes an endless stream of tweets on game day. Also breaking, the deadly church shooting, the gunman wearing a mask, opening fire, and the church member who confronted him. Show of force, American bombers flying the closest to North Korea in nearly 2 decades. President Trump calling Kim Jong-un Little Rocket Man, as North Korean leaders say targeting the U.S. mainland is more inevitable. And dangerous turn, the crippled dam in Puerto Rico, thousands rushing to get to higher ground, and Hurricane Maria's new path, the new watch just issued for the East Coast.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas, and we begin tonight with the unescapable head-on collision of politics and sports. Many NFL players in every game today responding to President Trump's attack on those who kneel in protest during the national anthem. Similar acts of defiance seen before each game, players peacefully taking a knee, locking arms, some with fists raised in the air. The Pittsburgh Steelers among the teams choosing not to take the field during the anthem. President Trump demanding players who protest be fired or suspended, urging fans to boycott games until those protests stop. The NFL commissioner, owners, coaches, and players all sending a united message to the president. ABC's Mary Bruce starts us off.
On this football Sunday,
Oh, say, can you see?
Tonight the NFL is sending a message to President Trump. From Detroit to Buffalo and all the way to London, as the anthem plays, the chorus of opposition from the field is growing. Players and coaches kneeling together in solidarity, arms linked, fists raised. The Patriots' Tom Brady shoulder to shoulder with his teammates. In Chicago, all but one of the Steelers declined to take the field, not wanting the players to have to choose sides. And in Nashville, the anthem blaring over an empty field. The Titans and the Seahawks sitting out the anthem altogether. It started with this jab and crude language from the president on Friday, taking on football players like Colin Kaepernick, who kneel during the national anthem to protest racial and social injustice.
When somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Tonight, he's doubling down.
So I certainly think the owners should do something about it. I think it's very, very disrespectful to our flag.
And insists it has nothing to do with race.
This has nothing to do with race or anything else. This has to do with respect for our country.
Then he doubled down in a barrage of tweets, saying if NFL fans refuse to go to games until players stop disrespecting our flag and country, you will see change take place fast, fire or suspend. But the NFL is backing its players. In an unusually strong rebuke, the commissioner says divisive comments like these demonstrate an unfortunate lack of respect for the NFL, our great game, and all of our players. For the president who vowed to bring the country together,
I think I'll bring people together, and that includes blacks and whites and everything. I think people will come together.
Now 66% of Americans say he is doing more to divide the country than unite it. Tonight, the president is again at the center of the debate over race in America.
He's now using sports as the platform to try to divide us.
And it's not just football. Trump is taking on basketball, too, after NBA champion Steph Curry said he didn't want to visit the White House.
I don't want to go. That's really good.
Trump then beat him to it, disinviting him, tweeting going to the White House is considered a great honor for a championship team. Steph Curry is hesitating, therefore invitation is withdrawn. LeBron James's first response, "You bum." Curry already said he isn't going. Going to the White House was a great honor until you showed up.
Mary Bruce joins us live now from outside of FedEx Field, where the Redskins are getting ready to play the Raiders tonight. And President Trump clearly watching some of the games today, Mary.
Yeah, Tom, the president just spoke briefly with reporters and said he did watch some of today's games, but he says what he saw was tremendous solidarity for our flag and our country. And on Twitter, he added, standing with locked arms is good. Kneeling is not acceptable. Tom.
The president very busy on Twitter today. All right, Mary, thanks so much. President Trump's outburst spreading player protests beyond football and beyond basketball. Oakland A's rookie Bruce Maxwell becoming the first Major League Baseball player to take a knee during the anthem. Outrage building over the president's heated comments. Here's ABC's Ryan Smith.
Tonight, growing backlash across the country. Fans in Philadelphia clash over the controversy ignited by President Trump. The NFL uniting.
I guess we're all son of a bitch.
Former head coach Rex Ryan campaigned for Trump, but had harsh words today.
Like, I'm pissed off, I'll be honest with you, because I supported Donald Trump. Calling our players, SOBs and all that kind of stuff, that's not the men that I know. The men that I know in the locker room, I'm proud of.
Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Bradshaw disagrees with the protest, but stands behind protesters' right to do it.
If our country stands for anything, folks, what? It's freedom. People died for that freedom. I'm not sure if our president understands those rights.
Owners from 6 teams taking the field during the anthem in support of their players. Half of them making statements in solidarity. Patriots owner Bob Kraft is a well-known friend of Trump, even flying on Air Force One, donating $1 million to his inaugural committee. But today, saying he's deeply disappointed by the tone of the comments, and there is no greater unifier in this country than sports. Unfortunately, nothing is more divisive than politics. We spoke to fans across the country, and that divide is clear.
I stand for this for standing up for us.
You guys make a lot of money, and they should stand during the national anthem.
I voted for President Trump, but I think there's other issues he should be more concerned with.
Here in the Midwest, we agree with supporting our country and standing for our flag.
The Take a Knee hashtag tweeted roughly 2 million times.
Tonight, I'm taking a knee for America.
Singer Stevie Wonder and his son kneeling at the Global Citizens concert last night. Oakland A's baseball player Bruce Maxwell showing his support. And tonight, the NFL will play this ad in prime time, showing how football can unify.
Inside these lines, we may have our differences, but recognize there's more that unites us.
And Ryan Smith joins us now live from outside MetLife Stadium, where the Jets played earlier today. Ryan, I know you've been talking to your sources in the NFL. Is this only the beginning of these protests?
Well, Tom, emotions were running high among many players after President Trump's comments in Alabama, and there was generally a lot of support among fans for the protests on Sunday. That means there's a real possibility that there could be many more protests to come. Tom?
Ryan Smith on this developing story for us tonight. Ryan, thanks so much. Also breaking tonight, that deadly church shooting in Tennessee. At least one person killed, several wounded. Authorities say the gunman wearing a mask arrived at the church and opened fire. A church member standing up to the gunman. ABC's Adrian Bankert is in Tennessee with more.
This small Tennessee church ripped apart by a gunman on a deadly shooting rampage.
The Church of Christ, people have been shot at that location.
The first calls came in at 11:15 a.m. as the service at Burnett Chapel Church of Christ near Nashville let out.
This is a level 1 mass casualty incident.
Police say the gunman killed one woman in the parking lot, then made his way inside, all the way to the pulpit.
The guy came from the right side of the church, and he was just shooting. He came right to the middle and shoot more.
Minerva Rosa's dress bloody from helping the pastor, one of 7 hurt, along with 68-year-old Linda Bush.
She was pretending to be dead so he wouldn't shoot her again.
After several minutes of horror, 22-year-old Robert Engel, a church usher, confronts the shooter.
He tackled him, and he was hurting his head, and without him, I think it can be worse.
The gunman, now identified by police as 25-year-old Emmanuel Sampson, was shot during the struggle. Police say that heroic usher saved lives.
This church usher, an extraordinarily brave individual.
Tom, police are still trying to figure out the shooter's motive. We do know he is a former member of the church and is expected to be charged with murder and attempted murder. Tom?
Adrian Bankert on the scene there of that church shooting tonight. Adrian, thank you. Next, the U.S. with a show of force, sending a message to North Korea. American bombers flying near the North Korean coast as President Trump and the regime trade new insults. The president mocking Kim Jong-un, calling him Little Rocket Man. North Korea warning an attack on the U.S. is becoming more inevitable. Here's ABC's Bob Woodruff.
American B-1 bombers and F-15 fighter jets took off in the night, flying farther north of the DMZ than any time in nearly 2 decades. While in Pyongyang this weekend, thousands marched through the streets during a rally against the U.S. The show of force from both nations comes as the volley of insults reaches an alarming level. President Trump tweeted Saturday, "Just heard Foreign Minister of North Korea speak at UN. If he echoes thoughts of Little Rocket Man, they won't be around much longer."
고통만을 불러온다고.
His tweet comes after the North Korean foreign minister slammed the president at the United Nations, calling him a mentally deranged person who committed an irreversible mistake. Days earlier, President Trump in the same venue with that warning.
If it is forced to defend itself or its allies, we will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea.
North Korea then threatened to test a hydrogen bomb above the Pacific Ocean, something they have never done before.
Everything he has said he would do, I will test a hydrogen bomb, I will send an ICBM test, he's done. So why wouldn't he test a hydrogen bomb over the Pacific?
I think the likelihood is there that he will test a bomb at some point.
And Bob Woodruff joins us live now in studio. Bob, you've been covering North Korea for more than a decade. You were just on the border with China and North Korea, and you told me you saw something you've never seen before?
Well, the tension's growing. It's hard on the North Korean side exactly what's happening inside their minds. But on the Chinese side, they're very honest with us. They're afraid that there could be some kind of nuclear battle out there. They don't think they're going to get hit by the missiles that's going to go to the east. But they're afraid that the regime, if it collapsed, the people could pour from North Korea into China, damage their economy. And also they're, of course, very afraid that if that happens, the U.S. forces could come up against that border with China eventually. And that has got a lot of fear in their minds.
Besides war and immigration crisis as well. All right, Bob, thanks so much. Now, the breaking headline tonight about Jared Kushner. Political reporting President Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor used private email for White House business. The account reportedly set up after the election, but before the inauguration, used to contact administration officials, including former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus and former Chief Strategist Steve Bannon. Political reporting Kushner's lawyer confirms the account exists and was used fewer than 100 times this year. Let's turn now to Puerto Rico and the stunning devastation brought by Hurricane Maria. Authorities beginning to get a first-hand look at the widespread destruction there. Families cut off with no power, no water, no cell phone service, and at least 10 people killed. The imminent threat at this hour, a dam in danger of failing, thousands rushing to higher ground. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim in Puerto Rico.
Tonight, a dire situation. Officials warning this dam in Puerto Rico could fail at any moment.
We're encouraging folks to leave because it can be difficult to come back and get them.
Aerial footage shows the spillway overflowing and ripping up everything in its path. Now the dam itself, more than 3 football fields wide, cracked and threatening to collapse. Rescuers say getting to those in need is difficult.
Most of the searches that we're doing and contacts that we're making with people that need help, we're doing it boots on the ground. We're walking to it.
Across Puerto Rico, officials now describing conditions as apocalyptic. For 5 days now, millions cut off from the rest of the world without water, fuel, or power.
I know we're not going to get to everybody in time.
The line for just $20 of gas stretching for blocks.
8 hours waiting for gas.
As desperation mounts, an argument erupts moments after this gas station shuts down. After a 3-hour wait, Bertha Melendez is empty-handed.
I'm very mad because this is an emergency.
Facing months without power, Maria is now being called the biggest catastrophe the island has ever seen. Authorities are watching to see how much water continues to push into this collapsed spillway. Tonight, that evacuation is still in place. Tom?
Eva Pilgrim reporting from Puerto Rico tonight for us. Eva, thanks so much. Hurricane Maria tonight closing in on the East Coast, but will it hit? ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano just back from Puerto Rico. And Rob, we got to keep a close eye on Maria.
We do. It's going to get close to the U.S. as a hurricane, Tom, but we don't think it will have a direct hit. We will have impacts. Right now, it's a Category 2 storm with winds of about 105 miles an hour. It's 400 miles southeast of Cape Hatteras. Here you see the track. By Wednesday afternoon, it's